gonna show you guys the progress of my pottery. This was a high fire cup that I threw this semester. It has chino glaze on it. And I did this texture here just by putting white slip, which is liquid clay, on it. And then with a ballpoint pen, I just did that texture and I removed the white slip with the pen. This cup here was the very first one I did on the wheel. I'm going to show you guys this same glaze on a couple other pieces. Most of these will be up for sale in my shop. And the link for that will be below, or is below. Here's a yarn ball. Has that same glaze that blue cup had. And it has my signature and the year on it. And then my class symbol. It's just terracotta clay. This cool little vase. You can see here how the color changes on this side. That's because it actually broke and we had to repair it. It chipped off on it while it was drying because this is so thin. And again, my signature, the year, and the class symbol. I did this one last semester. I had to make a 3-part piece, so I threw this and I threw these two, and then added it to the base. It's actually pretty heavy, so I don't even want to sell it. I just keep it. It's actually been a doorstop for the past couple months. But I'm very happy about this one. And it's also my first time using this glaze, and I'm very happy with it. How matte, might even be like satin, I'm not sure which one of those, but I really like the texture and how it's not super shiny. You can see my signature there. Which is A-R, turnips, and then you have the E for my middle name. This one here is that same glaze as that bud piece, but it's a yarn bowl. And the inside has some black glaze in it. And what I realized was that I can't really do a double glaze on a yarn bowl because of the slit. So I'm gonna have to paint the inside in a different slit, different clay, and then glaze it all as one color. So kind of how this is. This has white slip in the inside. It's all dipped in one. The outside has blue slip. So the glaze looks different on the inside versus the outside because of the clay color in it. But I'm still happy with this. The way those two colors, so two slips interact inside. Again, signature and the year. This was faceted, so I went with something like kind of like a cheese grater, and then I grated down the sides after I threw it, and it became leather hard. And I went side to side, and I went for the sides, for the height, I went up and down. So the texture itself is different on each. And then here, I started to wipe it off a bit, but this glaze, when it hasn't been fired, is red, and this clay is red. So it was kind of hard to see what was what, which is why this is just shining and having color in it. But that's just, it's all part of the process of learning and understanding how things react. But I kind of liked how I wiped it off here. You can kind of see the texture a lot better. But this would be a form I'm going to remake again. Another cup for my very first semester. I did 3 of these. I only brought out 2. But I want to show you my latest cup. Well, I have one more, but I think it's sold at the ceramic sale. It was actually really nice. I didn't take a picture of it. Oh well. This was painted with Mayolica, or it was glazed with Mayolica. And then I did the same thing I did with this one. I went in with a ballpoint pen, and then I just added all that design and texture onto it. The color you see is the same Mayolica that I sponged on the cup. The inside is white, which is what Mayolica looks like. And the cool thing about this glaze is that what color you see is a color you'll get after it's fired. For most things, like see for this one, I know this was red, but it turns out this like taupe tan color. This one, white will be white, the red will be red, the blue will be blue, blah blah blah. It's actually like, it's like paint. You're legit painting onto your pottery. I feel like I'm being eaten by bugs right now. This is a planter I made. This was the 2nd semester, I'm pretty sure. Because I was able to trim. Things look nice. And I was already in the club because it has the club signature on it, and it has my old signature, it doesn't incorporate my last name. Anyways, I'm not happy with this one. It's still a planter, it still works, right? I'm not crazy about it, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be a gift to my friend Ashley, because this was originally for her, and I thought it got lost last semester. I thought someone took it, but they just put it in a different storage room. And I just found it this semester. I'm like, wait a minute, I think that's my planter, and it was. Glazed it, and now it's here. This is the same glaze as this one, but this is white slip, white clay, while this is blue, which is what's happening on the inside of the cups. But the cups, I didn't paint them well, kind of like a sloppy job, so you can see the natural color of the clay and then the slip. But that's the planter. This one I'm extremely happy about. And it's the same glaze as this one actually. And the insides too are the same. I really like that black glaze. I use it a lot. My nipple itches. This was thrown by my professor Janice. And then I added the texture to it because we were gonna add it to the ceramic sale for charity. But it developed a crack. I thought it developed 2 cracks, but I guess it's just one surfaced. But because of the crack, I tried fixing it, it didn't work. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna turn it into a yarn bowl. I just extended the crack and boom, there's a slit for you to put your yarn in through now. This was the first time doing this section. Again, I did the same thing I did with this one. I sponged back some of the glaze so that texture would really be would really show off. But I would definitely be doing this texture again. And I really like this slit actually. I forgot to mention that. This might be like the signature slit. I don't think I've really seen yarn bowls with it. I might be wrong. I feel like Earth, Wool, and Fire might have something like that. This is my first closed form with high fire clay. A cute little sugar. And this clay is different than this clay, and they have to be fired at different temperatures. This is high fire stoneware. This is earthenware. This is terracotta. And they each use different glazes, which is a huge rabbit hole to get into. This one, that if you follow me on Instagram, which you most likely do, you have probably seen already. This was another closed form, which means I make it as a huge dome, close it, it's not open like this is, and then I have to pierce it so it doesn't explode in the kiln. But I added a bunch of textures to see how they reacted, and by adding this texture, I knew that this bowl, see, this is the same texture right here. I knew that I had to wipe it off so the texture would show, because it didn't show off here. But that's also the same glaze as this one and as the other one. But again, it's just like a texture test tile to see how each of these things would react, would look through on this glaze itself. Again, the same glaze. This one was done last semester. This was done in the fall semester. This was done this semester. 18, yes. This bowl was my first successful bowl. Very happy with the feet that I trimmed on it. And again, same exact glaze, the black with the turquoise. And we've used it already, and you can see the chip already in it. I do like this bowl a lot. The bowls and food things are not for sale, except one cup. Except this cup. I'm selling this cup. Another bowl. This also has my Myolica. It's the same glaze as... I think something bit me. That's this one. And again on my signature. A high fire bowl. This is supposed to be celadon, or it is celadon, but it didn't. This is wet, but it did not. What did she say? It didn't get hot enough. This is supposed to be more like a green, almost like jade, I think, and it's not that color. The inside is Emily's purple or something around that nature. I'm still extremely happy with it. I did not trim it correctly. I'm not happy about how it's trimmed. You can see here, this line here is very faint, while here it's very pronounced because it wasn't centered correctly while I was trimming it. Not the end of the road, it's still a bowl. Just something for me to consider or to think about as I'm making it. last but not least, not last, I have one more bowl. What is it? It's a vase. I have a vase in the studio I'm going to show you. That was also done in Mayolica. Boom. My bowl. A signature Mayolica sponge, and then black paint splatters in the inside, which I'm very happy about. But this is all Mayolica, same as this one and this one. But I added the color on top, obviously. And I did what I did with the cup. So I painted the colors, and then with a ballpoint pen, I went in and added and removed that layer of color to expose the natural Mayolica white. And here is the last piece I wanted to show you guys. This is a hand built. It was all coils. This was, I'm pretty sure this was slab, and then I just added that texture right here. But it was also Mayolica that I splattered on. This is my very first project. And I painted the bottom white with slip. It was a different professor, so it had a different class symbol. And you see it just says Alex. I didn't develop a signature yet, but I'm very happy with this. And I think I painted the black up here with slip or oxide. I'm not even sure. Or even with like Mayolica color, but it's not shiny, so I'm not sure what I did. She gave me this for Vogue Knitting in 2017, the year I did Invent, and she was an exhibitor there. And it's actually a knitting needle, and everything else is crocheted, and it's beautiful. And I keep it here. And then this flower here is from my cousin's wedding, and it's a Sharpie.